Following the longest State of the Union speech in history tonight, our political analyst, Dr. Bob Halsworth, joins us now with his perspective.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. One thing that was pretty noticeable tonight was that the House chamber was relatively empty on the Democratic side, with roughly half of the elected officials not in attendance.
It was pretty interesting there. A lot of them just said, you know, we think he's going to tell a pack of lies here. He's going to say things that we don't even want to hear. So we don't even want to, grace the chamber with our presence. And those who were there wound up in some ways taking the bait. In some ways you had this back and forth, and it's easier for him when he's controlling the podium and you have somebody from the audience on the Democratic side yelling at him. He looks a lot better typically.
Let's talk about his speech. What did you think about what he said? And I know there was some fact-checking going on by journalists online.
Yeah, in a nutshell, he really had two purposes tonight. I think the first was to try to claim that the economy is much better than some of these public opinion polls are saying the people think. That's a tough road to hoe in some ways. If people don't think they're doing very well and you're telling them they're doing better than they think, a lot of people don't take that too seriously. But the second part of it was to really criticize Democrats and to say, even if you don't like the Republicans, even if you don't like me, they're deranged, they're crazy, he called them at times. They're going out and they're changing the gender of their kids without even telling the parents. They're deranged and you really don't want to support them. And I think that's the kind of argument that he's pretty comfortable making.
Yeah, and then when you think about the tone that he had, there was a very different tone and a very different message with Abigail Spanberger, our governor here, who was asked to give the Democratic response. What were your thoughts on her messaging tonight?
Yeah, actually, I thought Spanberger once again really did an excellent job in a very thankless position in some ways. You get 10 minutes after the president's been on for almost 2 hours. But what she did, I thought that was so effective, is that while he was calling the Democrats crazy and deranged, she got up there and she gave a very focused, very professional, very succinct criticism of the Trump administration and basically said, you can trust the Democrats. Look at me. Look at what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make things more affordable. I'm not going to be, supporting that kind of immigration policy that's actually sending these untrained ICE officers out on the street. And certainly, I'm not going to be doing the kind of policies that benefit sort of my buddy billionaires that she claimed that the president is doing. So I thought she was just sort of an excellent contrast for the Democrats, in particular, given the kind of message that Donald Trump was sending about them a half hour earlier.
I think we're out of time, but this was a big opportunity for her to be chosen to do that.
It was, and I think she was up to the moment.
Yep, represented the Democrats and Virginia extremely well.
Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Bob. Always
Great to be here again.